Morning everybody, welcome to the DW Stadium and welcome to Matchday Live, here again for another home game 4 hours before kick-off, and it's a captain special edition this afternoon. Joining me is Neill, former Wigan Athletic captain, current Latics player summariser, and current Wigan Athletic captain Gary Caldwell. Good morning chaps, thank you for the early start as always. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty and talking about football and the previous week and this weekend coming up, first of all, massive congratulations to Wigan Warriors, 19th Challenge Cup title yesterday. Sean Wayne and his team seeing off Hull comfortably in the end. It wasn't an easy game for them, but it does cap off, Neil, a fantastic 2013 for the town, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's amazing, and both clubs have done fantastic. Obviously starts with ourselves and these fellas, what they did at Wembley, and then for the rugby team to go down there and do a similar thing, it's just great, and you can see that the town's got behind both teams. It's fantastic. And
we can see from the pictures on our screen, Dave Whelan down there with your FA Cup as well. Great to see him there. He's such a proud man for this town, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great for the town, and winning the FA Cup was so special to him, and obviously him taking the cup down there and getting the other cup for the rugby league as well. It's massive for Wigan, and to have their name on the telly, on the national telly again, and for the whole town, it's a special occasion again.
Yeah, fantastic achievements. You'll also notice as well today that this is the third kit for this season, the brand new all green kit. I haven't got the shorts and socks with us this morning, thankfully, but it's available today if you're rolling up to the game. $39.99 adults in the shop, so make sure you pick up yours. First thoughts on it, Neil?
I think it looks okay, doesn't it? I think obviously it looked better on the players, you know, a bit more of a physique for it, but no, the kit looks good, and we'll get to see it this season. Yeah.
You guys have to wear it when it comes round to it. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's a lovely style, similar style to the black one, and I think with all the Scottish and Irish connections we've got in the team now, I think that's maybe behind the colour that we've chosen, but I look forward to getting on and getting back in the team to wear it.
Just don't let Leon Barnett near it, is that the kind of rule now?
I think it'll be easier as well with the collar. It'll be easier for him to rip. He'll probably rip it right off this time, so no, it's a lovely strip, and as I said, I look forward to wearing it.
He's got to have had some stick from that in the dressing room after last weekend, hasn't he? I mean, we've got it on the front of the programme today as well. It was a great celebration, but great pictures. He must have got a little bit of
yeah. No, I was saying to him the other day, the boys, the worst player on a Friday has to wear a Superman suit, and I said maybe we should start getting an Incredible Hulk suit for Barney if he ever gets the kind of worst player on a Friday.
And we could see it on the screens again. It was a crucial goal for us as well, which it kind of, all the focus went on the celebration. Remember, that was a massive goal for us, but great celebration. I don't think you would have got a second shirt in your day. You would have had to carry on playing, wouldn't you?
We would have had to play in skins if we'd have done that in our day, and for the rest of the season. So no, it was a great goal, and it was great timing.
What have you made of Leon since he's come in? One of a load of new boys to come in, but he's settling in well now, isn't he? In a new look defence.
Yeah, I think the new lads have come in and they've done really well. I think you know, it's never easy coming to a new club in a new season, and when there's so many of them as well. I think that all the lads are settling in really well. I think the manager will be pleased. Puts a bit more pressure on the established fellas, and I'm sure they're dying to get back on the pitch. But it's looking good. It's a good squad, and looking good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's looking as though yourself and Ivan Ramos, the guys who are still returning from injury, are going to have a bit of competition when you're fit and ready again.
Yeah, I think we have to. We have to have that at the club if we want to be successful, and we know it's going to be a long season with a lot of games. So the boys have got the shirt at the minute and doing very well, and everyone that's injured in the gym is working hard to get back as fit as they can, as soon as they can, and put pressure on these boys, and that can only be good for the team going forward.
How's your recovery going now? You're still stepping it up, trying to get back as soon as you can?
Stepping it up a bit this week, yeah. Started doing a lot more kind of strength stuff with weights and stuff, which, you know, feels like a big jump when you've been on crutches and just walking around gingerly on your feet. So I've done that this week, a lot more bike, a lot more work in the pool, and slowly but surely it's coming along, and it's just a case of sometimes the physios have to hold me back, and you kind of want to run before you can walk. So it's coming along slowly, but everything's going well.
Have you got a return date in mind? Have you got a game or a part of the season that you want to be back for?
Nothing really, no. The surgeon gave us 2 kind of 6-week blocks the last time I seen him, and I'm about 4 weeks through that first 6-week block. So I've got another 6-week block after this where the strength and the running really kind of kicks up. and hopefully training at the end of that. So it'll probably be late October, early November, but we can always cut a few weeks off that, hopefully.
Hopefully we can. Yeah, what is the issue? Because is it the same as we had a couple of seasons ago? You had surgery, I think it was a couple of summers ago on the hips.
It's pretty much the exact same. Yeah, it was 3 years ago in the summer. I got both hips done, and it's the left one's just kind of wear and tear again of the joint. Pretty much the exact same operation that I had last time. So hopefully I can have the same result, because after that I felt great. So hopefully I can come back as strong as I did last time.
It's the worst part about being a footballer, surely, that time you spend on the sidelines. You just want to be out there helping the rest of your teammates, and you want to step it up, and like Gary said, you need to be reined in sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. You do have to be held back, because you just want to play football as a player. There's nothing worse than being injured. You want to be out on the pitch, especially at the start of a new season with all the new players coming in. You want to be part of it. You don't kind of feel the same part of it sometimes, and you really want to get involved. So I know exactly what he's going through. He'll be chomping at the bit, dying to get out there, dying to be involved with the players and show what he can do, and we need him back. The more players we've got around this place, the better, especially players like Gary.
A couple of setbacks in the last couple of weeks result-wise, but generally this summer, since the new gaffers come in and this big arrival of new players, what's it been like around Christopher Park?
It's been great. I think the new guys have come in and settled in really quickly. The kind of atmosphere around the place has been brilliant. You would never believe we had been relegated. We kind of picked ourselves up quickly and looked forward to the challenge ahead. And as you said, there's been a few setbacks, but there's always going to be that in a long season, and it's how you recover from them. And I thought on Tuesday night we were outstanding second half and should have really won the game. I think anyone at the game would see that for the majority of the game we were very much in control. After the first goal we lost our way for 10-15 minutes, and that's something we have to try and improve upon, and when we lose goals kind of get it out of our system quickly and move on. So second half we've done that. We came out fighting, and hopefully we can continue that today from the start and go out and get a positive result.
Yeah, we have deserved more from these games. Nottingham Forest play Watford today, as well as us taking on Middlesbrough here at the DW. They're yet to concede a goal, and there's every chance that we could have found ourselves in the exact same position, just one or two errors at the back. But overall, it's been convincing. Yeah,
I think it's been really good. I think the players have played really well. I think there's obviously been patches that haven't really gone our way, a few poor decisions by referees at times. But what stood out for me is the way the players have reacted to the challenge. You know, they've had setbacks, but they've stood up and been counted. We saw that the other night. It was, as Gary says, a great performance in the second half. It was great that the managers obviously spotted something, changed things around at half time, and the lads have come out in the second half and wanted to put things right. I thought it was a great performance in that second half. But they've obviously got to get used to these things. It's going to be different for them this year. It's obviously very different than last season, the type of football we're playing against. But I've been really impressed with how things have started, and hopefully it can continue.
Is there pressure on the already established players here, the guys who were here last season and went through the highs of the FA Cup and the lows of relegation, compared to the guys who have come in and want to make a fresh start, want to make a big impression? The guys who are already here, Sean Maloney, James McCarthy, Emerson Boyce, etc. Is there pressure on them to keep it going, or have you seen that attitude in them to try and raise the rest of the team?
I think there's pressure on everyone. I think you come out the league and it's a huge low. Everyone wants to play in the Premiership. There's no getting away from that. So the pressure's on everyone to get us back there, and we know it's not going to be easy, but we also know that we've got a squad capable every week to go and win games. So there's a confidence in the squad that we can do it, but the pressure we put on ourselves really on a daily basis and every match day to go and win games.
Well, earlier in the week we caught up with Owen Coyle, for Latics player, to see what the gaffer wanted from today's game, see what he was expecting from his players. Here's what he had to say.
Well, we're looking for certainly the qualities we showed in the second half against Doncaster. I think our play was obviously of a very high standard, but the desire and the real burning ambition the players have for the football club was there for everyone to see. It was a game that we started ever so well and should have been 2 or 3 in front with a Stonewall penalty denied, and we obviously disappointed the goals we lost and certainly easily avoidable, but the players really picked them up second half. The fans got going when we got to 2-1 as well, the players gave them something to shout about, and equally they backed the players to the hilt at that point. And we felt we should have won the game. So I think it's important we come out with all guns blazing and look to secure the 3 points.
Owen Coyle there talking about today's game, which we're around 3.5 hours away from now, and you've just commented on it, Gary. We can see behind us the pitch, it looking lush, looking fantastic, in great condition. He gets it ready perfectly every season, doesn't he, the groundsman? Yeah,
it's been great. I think when I first came, we had a bit of trouble that first season with the rugby and the football. It's obviously very difficult for him to get the pitch right, and since then every year it's been in impeccable condition, and he does a great job considering he has all the games that gets played on there, and the boys should be looking forward to getting out there today and playing on that.
What are we expecting from Middlesbrough today? Do you feel, you know Tony Mowbray well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I worked with him at Hibs and Celtic, and he's very much a football man. You know, he wants football played in the right way. He'll build from the back and pass the ball. So there'll be a team that at times will have long spells of possession, and we can't get frustrated by that. As long as we're in good positions and not getting hurt by that, then it's not a problem to us. So we have to be ready for that, and also we have to, you know, attack and use our attacking threats on the wide areas and through the middle, get crosses in the box and put them under as much pressure as we can.
Is this the toughest game so far for us, do you think, Neill? Well,
you wouldn't really know. That's the beauty of this league at the moment. We don't know what to expect week in, week out. I think it's a tough game, it really will. Experienced championship side and a lot of experienced players in there, but you see what we've been up against. You go to Bournemouth and it's like a cup final for them. Doncaster come up here, they were there to be shot at. It's a cup final for them, it seems. So you really don't know what to expect. In the Premier League, you kind of know what each team does over years, and you kind of know that you go to Chelsea or Everton and you know what you're getting, really. But here, it's a bit of a mystery. I'm sure the players know what's coming. They've done their research with the manager, but for the fans, it's interesting, and it will be a tough game, no doubt about it. But I think if we can perform like we should and can, we'll be okay.
It'll be a test of how far we've come in a short space of time, won't it?
Yeah, the team obviously now start knitting together. It'd be interesting to see what the team is. You know, whether the manager wants to change things around a little bit, but it'll be a good measure on what we can expect and how far they've come as a unit and individually, as the players are getting used to it as well.
What have you noticed as the big differences, Gary, between Premier League football and Championship in these early weeks?
I just think it's the pace of the game. I think there's no kind of easy spells where the game settles down. I think in the Premier League, teams respect you a lot more on the ball. They don't get in your face as much, you know, so you have spells where both teams can kind of get a breather and then go again. But in this league, you know, it's 100 mile an hour from start to finish, and it's up to us to try and control that tempo, you know, with our passing game. I think, you know, coming from the Premier League, we've played against teams where we would struggle to get on the ball against Man United's, Man City's, whereas here I think the majority of the time we're going to dominate possession, so we have to use that time to get our energy back, and when we attack with 100% energy and real speed in our attacks, rather than getting caught up in a game where it's 50-50.
And from a mental point of view, we've got to step up from being the underdogs, as we've been for previous seasons in the Premier League, to acting like the big boys in this division, acting like the big fish.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was evident on Tuesday night. I think, you know, in the past you lose a goal against Man United, you know, in 20-25 minutes, and I think everyone would fear the worst, you know, and it's you try and dig in for that spell and see that out. But I think in this league we have to, you know, if we lose a goal, it's a setback obviously, but we carry on what we're doing. We continue to push forward and try and score goals. And in this league, if teams score 3 against us, we should be able to score 4, and we have to have that attitude where whatever happens in the game, if it's a 30-yard strike or a bad decision from a referee, whatever goes against us, we've still got the kind of armoury that we can go and score more against teams.
Can't say fairer than that, can you?
No, that's exactly right. It is. And you always feel as though you're in with a shout here. You know, you saw that on Tuesday night, and opportunities to come. Gary's right about the pace of the game. It's, you know, we comment on it regularly, don't we? You know, there is no kind of breathing time. You can be passing it round at the back 1 minute, and next thing the other team get it, they just lump it down your throats really, and it puts real pressure on the lads at the back to be on their toes. You just never know when it's gonna stop. It's just relentless, the pace of the game. It's been interesting, and it's been exciting as well.
Who do you see as the big game changers today? Who you're looking at in that starting lineup, whatever it might be, to take hold of this game and drive us forward and try and make the difference?
Well, on Tuesday night, for me, the one who really stepped up in the second half particularly, and it was just the way he got involved. It was as if he wanted to sort it out on his own, was Sean Maloney. He was just side to side, up and down. demanding the ball, and that really put Doncaster under so much pressure. His quality on the ball is fantastic, and he just opened the game up for us. And if the game had gone on longer, I'm sure we would have got the winner, because the way he was playing. But there's so many lads out there. You obviously got to be tight at the back, because these lads will be able to play as well. You know, we forget that these teams can play as well. You know, it's not just hard work; they can play as well. But Sean for me, and Fortunio came on as well, kind of mixed it up a little bit, change of formation, made us good going forward.
You're nodding your head there at Sean and Mark Antoine as well. They made a big difference in that second half, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought Sean's second half was outstanding. I think Neill said first half we've been trying to get a lot more width in our game. He likes to come in off the line, but the manager has spoke a lot about keeping both wingers right on the touchline to try and stretch teams. And I thought he'd done that great first half, but then, like Neill said, second half he took it upon himself to say, right, we're 2-0 down here, I need to go and try and affect the game in whatever area of the park I can. And I think when he does that, he's a great player. You know, he goes and picks the ball up and causes teams problems. And Mark as well came off the bench and gave the gaffer a real problem. You know, I think that will be the interesting one today, whether we keep the two up front or we go back to the 4-3-3. So Marks gave the gaffer a real headache in that regard, because his performance was so good and gave us such a lift second half.
New look up front this season, is it? In previous season, when we've seen players like Aruna Kone, Franco De Santa, more technical players on the ball, we've got that obviously in Mark Antoine and Grant Hall. We've got that. Do you feel a little bit more power, a little bit more forcefulness up front?
Yeah, I think we can. I think we've got the option now where if it's tight, you know, there's no harm in putting the ball forward. You know, with quality, we're not wanting to just kick it up the park. You know, we can put it up and drop it into Grant Holt and play off him and use him to get the ball up the pitch for us. I also think we can put more crosses in the box. You know, that's why we've been trying to keep the wide men wide and give them service so that they can get at defenders, and given the opportunity to put it in the box, because there's no point signing Grant Holt if you don't put the ball in the box. So he wants that kind of service, and I thought we gave it to him on Tuesday night, and barring a couple of unlucky efforts, I think the goalie was very lucky with one save. You know, he could have scored a couple. So as long as we keep providing him with the service, and I'm sure he'll score goals.
He works hard as well. It's not just in that final third. You see him dropping back into our own half, trying to stitch up the play. He's everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great team player. I think, you know, all strikers, you know, obviously the goals they'll get judged on, but in the dressing room the boys have been so happy with the way he's worked for the team, the way he communicates up front. He helps fill in for people who run beyond him, you know, and he's a real team player. And sometimes that can go unseen for the fans, because they just want to see a striker scoring goals. But he's been excellent in that regard for us so far.
Middlesbrough today. Then we've got our third straight home game next week, a big one against Nottingham Forest, and then a trip to Ipswich. When you're looking through that fixture list, who are the teams in these early stages that you're looking at to potentially be competing for those top spots coming into the campaign?
Like Neill said, I don't think you can tell. It's very early days in the Championship. Everyone says it isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and there's still such a long way to go. You know, teams in the past have came from down the bottom of the league in the second half of the season right to the top, and teams have went to the top and stayed there all season, so you can't really tell at the minute. I think from our point of view, the next two games before the international break are massive, because if we win them, we'll be round about the top six. You know, we'll be in that position where, you know, we want to stay. We obviously want to be top, but as long as we're in and around the top six and the gap isn't too big, then we'll be happy to sit there for now and build momentum into the season.
So big tests to come in the Championship, and big tests to come in the Europa League. Friday's the draw, when we find out who will play in the group phase. It's kind of crept up on us, and it's just another element of this sort of fascinating season that we're embarking on, isn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of, it was always there, but we'd put it to one side really to see how the season began. And then all of a sudden you start seeing a few games on the telly, and you think, hey, we're going to be involved in that again soon. So it will be interesting to see who we get, you know, if you need a passport and if you're allowed in certain countries. But no, it'll be interesting. It certainly adds to the excitement of the season.
You sound like you're speaking for yourself on that note. But me and you were looking at it thinking, nice trip to Cyprus, South Italy would be nice for a couple of days.
That's right, anywhere like that. But I'll be happy just to go to Scotland or Wales. You know, it'd be great. It's just great to be involved, and you know, it's fantastic for the club, and very long may it continue.
Well, you mentioned Scotland and your former club Celtic trying to qualify for the Champions League, a little bit of a setback for them a week or so ago against Shakhtar. Could that happen? Could it be Wigan Athletic v Celtic? I'm sure you'd try and step up your recovery to get back for that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that would be really nice. Obviously for myself and Sean, it would be great. But
and Stephen and Mark Antoine and the rest of
them. Yeah, forgetting them. Yeah, it would be good. But I think Celtic have still got a home tie, and never discount them when they're playing at home in Europe. I think they'll still probably come through that tie and get in the Champions League. But I think it's great for the whole club. It's an adventure that the club's never been on before, so we have to kind of embrace it and really go and enjoy every minute of it while we're there.
Okay, now those of you who tuned in last week and saw our first show of the season, you will have seen Paul Kendrick and Jonathan Jackson go head to head in our Keep You Up challenge. We're going to get to that very shortly, but first of all, we've been off-site this week. We've been to the Wigan Youth Zone, and we put Chris McCann and Stephen Craney to the test, see how they got on with our Keep You Up challenge. Let's have a look at how they did.
You ready? Yep. Right foot on there. Left foot over. And heads.
Great stuff. No pressure on you guys, by the way.
Not much.
You know Stephen well. Did you think he had that in him?
Yeah, he's got great ability with his feet. Although he's a full-back and a defender, he's got good skill. So that's another one for the Scots that we've won again.
And we saw that at the Youth Zone as well. That's just keeps building and building.
Yeah,
it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for the town once again, and something else the chairman has sorted out for this town. It's amazing. And then obviously we get the Prime Minister comes up and has a look as well. So no, it's brilliant for the town and great for the children.
How does it feel watching that at the Youth Zone, knowing that the players put in X amount towards its creation?
Yeah, it's amazing. I went there when it had 100 days to go, I think, from completion, and it was just an amazing place. And like Neill said, for the chairman to give to the town and provide a place for kids to go and learn and kind of do something when they're not at school is excellent, and hopefully it gets used and everyone loves it.
Brilliant stuff. Right, we're almost ready for our Keep You Up challenge. So we've got our match ball nice and ready. Before we do though, there's a couple of Twitter and Facebook questions that have been sent in over the past couple of days for you both. I'll start with yourself, Gary, a couple of straightforward ones. Favourite ever Wigan Athletic goal? That's from Lee Kane 77.
Probably the one at Liverpool.
I was going to say, you got to think about one, Gary?
Yeah, you have. I've scored a few.
Prolific, aren't you?
The one at Liverpool, I'd say. My first one was good as well at Blackburn, my second game, but the Liverpool goal to win at Anfield was great. What was your favourite goal?
He scored. Well, my favourite goal was scoring at Anfield.
For yourself,
For myself, I didn't probably score as many as Gary. Against Preston, scored a goal against Preston. It was a 30-yard. It was a shot. People say it was a cross, but it was definitely a shot.
Facebook, how confident are the players that the team will be back in the Premier League next season?
Very confident. I think the manager leaving last year and coming down, obviously the club was in a transition period, and with the new manager coming in, the players we've signed, the spirit amongst the change room at the training ground and that, I'm very confident we'll be back there next year.
Great stuff. Kevin McCormack on Facebook as well. Quick ones. Favourite Rocky film?
He's my cousin, by the way.
That's it.
That's my cousin.
Your cousin?
That's, yeah, Jamie McCormack, obviously for the other side of the family. But
brilliant.
What's he saying?
What's your favourite Rocky film?
There's something in there, isn't
it's got to be Rocky 4, I think.
Rocky 4?
Yeah.
Which one was
Russia.
That
Drago.
Yeah.
We were listening to that yesterday in the gym. We had the Rocky music on in the gym and the place was buzzing.
Yourself, Neill?
I like the last one, bizarrely.
You like the last one?
I thought the last one was quite good, yeah.
It's a bit
Is
deep,
that?
isn't it?
It is a bit, but
Important one as well from Michael Purcell. Biscuits or cake?
Neither at the minute, but cake probably.
Jaffa cake? Is that a biscuit or a cake?
Oh, you have to
Who
throw in
knows?
an awkward one, don't you? You had to do it. There's a couple of questions for you
Oh,
specifically here
okay.
from
Alright.
Twitter. Fantastic name, Legohead WAFC. Neil Rimmer owes me a pint of Caffrey's from when O'Neill's used to be open. Now I can find that easy to believe.
Yeah, that's a long
Do you
time
recall
ago.
this one?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I never really bought anyone a drink if I could help it. So I'll sort that out when it reopens.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be. You'll be waiting a while then, won't you? There's a bit of a trend here as well. Ashmark81, has Neil ever left the John Bull sober? Has he ever won a game of pool in there? I don't know about the pool, but what's this? Have you ever left the John Bull
They
sober?
kind of go together, don't they? Surely, if I don't remember coming out, I wouldn't have won a game of pool, would I? So no, I don't even remember going in the John Bull. So no.
There's a bit of a picture being painted here of your
It was the old
lifestyle
days.
away from
Football
the
was
game.
different in them days.
Brilliant. Right, let's get down to then keepy ups. You've both got a practice go first to see how you get on. Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna leave it to the
I'll go.
captain.
All right,
Where
no
am I going
pressure.
over there?
Just
I'm not
in this
even going to
corner over here,
practice.
please, Gary. Now, last week the record currently standing at 12. That was Jonathan Jackson, the chief exec, starting things off as we mean to follow. Paul Kendrick, unfortunately, couldn't follow in those footsteps with a rather lousy 5. How many did we get there? Did we keep a
I
count?
don't know. 9.
9 was
Nine?
it? That many?
Neil, a little practice go first of all, unless you want to get straight into it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Wow,
14.
that's a
No,
great
that'll
shout.
do.
So 14, you can take that one if you want. Gary had 9 on his practice.
It's not
So,
easy. That's
Neil's the
on
new.
It's not easy, that, Gary.
different ball, isn't it?
Yeah,
A
it's not
different
easy.
ball. Here's the excuses.
I was getting
3,
distracted
4,
as well over there.
7, 8,
Oh, he's
9,
flying
10,
off the wall and
11,
everything.
12, 13, 14.
Brilliant. He's got a
Easy,
rhythm
isn't it?
now. He's got a rhythm. We're running out of tape, aren't we?
I think we could quite easily keep this one going through to next week's show. Gives up. He's let a few people off there. Lost count, but I think
15.
it's easy to say that
15.
27 for the skipper.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
a fantastic record to beat. Do you want one more go at it, Neil?
No.
You've got a
No.
very credible 14 now.
No, I'll settle for
Quick off
14
your
in
head
these-
there,
in
to be
these
fair.
shoes.
Brilliant. What a great way to end today's show. To prove that we are live, we've got an overhead plane flying above us. Thanks for joining us this morning on WiganAthletic.com. If you are heading to the game today, or if you're not heading to the game rather, why not? You've got tickets available right up to kick-off from the DW Stadium ticket offers. Adults going from £15, juniors from £5. Or remember to get hold of your brand new third strip as well if you're heading along. Thank you for joining us this morning. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your bank holiday as well, and enjoy the game.